Good morning, everyone, and welcome to County Executive Pittman's virtual press conference. This morning, the County Executive will share announcements on some initiatives from our Office of Transportation, as well as a few other updates. We'll take questions after those updates. As a reminder, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat. I'll be calling for folks for questions in that order afterwards. And please keep your microphone and camera off until you're called on to ask a question. With that, Mr. County Executive.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you for joining us, everybody, this morning. I want to start out by just expressing my condolences and really pain at the loss of 3 brave firefighters in Baltimore City. I know that all of our residents feel the same way, and our firefighters who we love and respect in this county. So I've been in contact with Mayor Scott, and we are holding the whole city and the families of those firefighters in the light. Next, I want to just mention some things that are happening this week. It's a busy week for town halls. Anne Arundel County is known for its town halls, and unfortunately, they're virtual this week. But we have tonight in District 7, South County, with Councilwoman Hare, our budget town hall. And then tomorrow night, we have our Glen Burnie Revitalization Town Hall with Councilwoman Pickard, which will be an exciting look at some plans that are in the works to do some redevelopment in Glen Burnie. And then Thursday evening, we have the District 6, the Annapolis area peninsula, with Councilwoman Rodvian, budget town hall. So you can go to aacounty.org and you can find the information about these, aacounty.org/budget town halls specifically for the town halls. We want to hear what you think. So next, I want to just note that the COVID numbers are continuing to come down, and not only the case rate, which has gone from 116 last week, the 7-day average, to 65, positivity rate from 25.7 down to 18.8, hospitalizations from 212 down to 146. Unfortunately, our ICU COVID patients have only gone down a little bit less than that, 42 to 39. But I'm particularly pleased that our death rate has dropped. We had a horrible week last week with 36 of our residents lost to COVID-19, and that number is down to 15. And we will all continue to do the work that gets that down to 0. And please, 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 if you know anybody who's not vaccinated yet, that's the most important thing that you can do, is convince them to get vaccinated. Continue wearing those masks. The mask mandate is in effect through Monday. We will be recommending masks beyond that as the numbers continue to come down, but the mandate, unless something drastic changes, will end on Monday. There is a court case going on today, and our health officers, they're testifying. I fully expect that any judge would rule that this mask mandate has been effective and is saving lives in our county, and we must listen to our health professionals on issues like masking. So moving then to the main feature this morning is the work of our Office of Transportation, who also is working to save lives. And in our county, when we have a major initiative to protect the public, we engage all of our departments of county government in it. We engage the communities, we engage our state and federal partners. And so we have a draft that is being opened up for public comment today on Vision Zero for Anne Arundel County, our effort to end fatalities in our county on our roads. We had a 5-year average year, 45 total fatalities due to crashes on our roads each year of the last 5 years, 3,131 injuries due to crashes on our roads, a total of 10,151 annual crashes average for the last 5 years. So we have work to do to bring that down. I do have Sam Sneed, who is our new director of our Office of Transportation. He's been doing this work in Baltimore County. I am really proud to have him with us to continue the work that Ramon Robinson had been doing in our county, creating our Office of Transportation and getting us started. I took the reins of the Baltimore Region Transportation Board just at this last meeting. So I'm working with our partners in the Baltimore region as well on all of our transportation issues. And in addition to Vision Zero, which we'll hear a little bit more detail about from Mr. Sneed, We have the summer listening tour of our pedestrian and bicycle master plan, which we are calling Walk and Roll. And Tanya Osman does that work as our planner in the Office of Transportation. And we all know that Anne Arundel County was built for cars, and that both Plan 2040 and our Move Anne Arundel transportation plan call for a smarter and greener future, and that's what our residents want. So we want to hear your ideas about how we can improve the infrastructure for not only bicycles and pedestrian, but everything from wheelchairs to scooters and anything else that runs on wheels, especially those that don't use fuel and take up a lot of space and cause traffic on our roads. So I will turn it over to Sam now and let him give you a little bit more detail on that before we take questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pittman. I appreciate that introduction. I'm really excited about these two efforts, the Vision Zero plan and the Ped Bike Master Plan. Vision Zero is essentially a plan that accommodates the 4 E's: engineering, enforcement, engagement, education, and emergency services. Having this type of plan in place allows us to access federal and state funding for projects to improve corridors and intersections. So I'm really excited about working with the community and my staff to develop this plan and implement it. Of course, it's a team effort. It's our office as well as the other offices who are working on the 4 E's together to implement that particular project. We're also working on the Ped Bike Master Plan, which I'm really excited about. Our lead on that is Tanya Osman. She's our head planner for the county. And I do want to walk through with you for a moment how that particular tool works for comment. But let me just say that this is an effort that was almost 10 years in the making, this update, and we really want to be conscientious of the land use goals and development policies and make sure that we're not too burdensome with the requirements, but also we're providing access to our residents and visitors of Anne Arundel County. Do you want me to take that time to walk through the tool briefly?
Yeah, I think it'd be great to see the tool. Yeah.
Sure. So I want to share my screen with you all and show you how the comment tool actually works. So this is the GitHub comment tool. It will ask a series of questions. If you click Let's Go, you'll be walked through a survey that you can complete. It doesn't require personally identifiable information, so you don't have to share that, but it does ask for key characteristics that you may provide. A big part of this particular map is providing particular issues for your area. For example, you can build out a line or a dot using the map, and that allows you to provide a comment on an area that may need improvement. It's a really high-tech way of showing exactly where you need a sidewalk or an intersection might need improvement. To add a point, you click on the Add Point feature, and then you target a particular intersection. Here, you can comment anonymously or place your name. You can say that you support a particular project and why, and then tell us more about the location. You can do the same thing with the line feature, except with that particular feature, you're able to draw a line across a particular alignment. And then when you complete that line draw, you can do the same as with the dot. You can specify how you would use it, walking, biking, so on and so forth. And then tell us anything else about the route that is vital to you. And the last portion of this feature is seeing what others have shared. We previewed this to our bike commission before, and basically they added certain lines and dots throughout the county, and you can support lines and dots that they suggest as paths or intersections for improvements in the county.
I am glad you shared that personally. I had not seen it, and I'm going to go play on it. It's, when we said at the beginning of this administration that community engagement was the most important thing to us, knowing that there's competition for scarce resources. When people engage and they go online and they use this new technology to engage, to let their voices be known, that gets considered at budget time. And if we want to actually implement these wonderful ideas and plans, people need to mobilize around them. So thank you for making that possible.
Welcome. Thank you for your time.
All right, and with that, we'll kick it over to questions. So again, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat, and I'll be calling on folks in that order. First up, we've got Rob Lang from WBAL.
Okay, good morning. I'm going to ask the same question I asked last week, the possibility there might be a different answer. As you know, the mask mandate expires Monday, the 31st. And given this lawsuit, I know last week there were no plans to extend it. What's the situation this week?
Well, as you know, it was the health officer's decision, as it should be. This is a health officer order under state law. And he said last week that he did not expect it to be extended based on the way the numbers have been moving, and they've continued to move in that direction. So I do not expect him to extend it, but I can't say that because I'm not him.
In essence, the lawsuit could go away next week if this expires, right?
I have no way of knowing what the plaintiffs have in their minds. They may want to continue the lawsuit to prevent future public health actions by the health officer. It's important that a judge rule in favor of the health officer in this case, because this is the state law that has been used by the state health department, the governor, health departments all across this state. And if health officers can't act to protect public health, then I don't know why we have them. So we must protect this law.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Next up, Brooks Dubose, the Capitol.
Thanks. I have a question for the county executive. Last night during the city council meeting, Mayor Buckley announced that over the weekend and yesterday, his office had received some calls about anti-Semitic flyers being left outside homes in Annapolis, and that APD is investigating. We've also been told that these drops occurred in places in the county, at least one place that we've confirmed. So I just wanted to give you the opportunity to comment on that happening.
Well, hate bias incidents have been rising in recent years, and Anne Arundel County has not been exempt from that. In fact, we have had higher rates than many other counties in the state, which is why our Human Relations Commission acted when those reports first came out and did their forum on hate bias. It's one of the reasons that we created our Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And I was actually briefed yesterday from our EDI officer on that issue and on some organizations that are promoting this kind of hate. And it has no place in our county, and our police department and all of county government, and I believe our residents will do everything they can to stamp it out and express love rather than hate for our neighbors.
Thank you.
All right, last call for questions. If you've got one, put your name and media affiliation in the chat. All right, thanks, folks. We'll see you next week.